over some new rules and modifications that we'll have for Irving Perch recess kickball games. So, typical baseball kickball field looks the same. The one thing I want to point out is that the pitcher's mound in the middle should only have one person inside the diamond, and that is the pitcher. Everybody else should not be standing on a base and should be outside of the diamond. So, pitcher's job is to try to roll the ball over the base. If they roll the ball and it goes off to the side, that is considered a ball. If there are 4 balls during a time where a kicker is up, that kicker gets to go to first base. The other thing that might happen, or that the pitcher is trying to do, is that they're trying to roll the ball over the base. If they roll the ball and it touches the base, goes over the middle of the base, or is off to the side, but still going over the base, that is called a strike. 3 strikes, and the kicker is out. Now, in PE, we often have the issue of what is fair and what is foul. When we're outside, we don't have walls in our way. And the way that it really should work is that you imagine a line between home and first that extends all the way to the other side of the school. Same with home and third. Pretend that line extends forever. If you kick the ball and it lands on the other side of that line, so not inside the diamond area or kind of inside where the imaginary line would be, that is called a foul. When you are playing a game, baseball, softball, or kickball, a foul is counted as a strike. However, you cannot get out on strikes. So you might get 2 strikes from either missed pitches or whatever, or kicking fouls balls. But if you kick another foul ball after 2 strikes, you are not out. You can keep on trying to kick. If the ball lands inbounds, that would be fair. And so again, imagine that the diamond kind of is actually like a gigantic triangle. Anywhere in the green in this example would be considered a fair ball. One of the things that kids have really struggled with is the idea of what a force out is. So in this example, there is a kicker at home who is trying to kick the ball after it's pitched, and there's a runner on first. If the kicker kicks the ball, they have to go to first base. That means the person on first base has to go to second. They are forced to go to second. If the person kicks the ball and a player in the outfield gets to second before the person running to second gets there, that means they're out. You do not actually have to tag the runner. So some modified rules going with the idea of tagging a runner. If you are throwing the ball to try to tag someone out, it has to be an underhand throw. We've had the issue of kids throwing too hard for the distance they're throwing. So we're going to say underhand throws only. If you throw overhand and it hits them, they get to move to the next base. No stealing. So you need to wait until the ball is kicked by the kicker. As soon as it is kicked, though, if the ball is popped up in the air and the outfield catches it, the runners have to go back to the base they were just at. They cannot move to the next base. There will be no all-time pitchers unless an adult decides there needs to be one. This might be for a bunch of reasons, including injuries or to make the game a little bit more fair or whatever it needs to be. One of the rules that I have in PE is that we do not talk about our scores and we do not brag about winning or complain about losing. If after PE or at recess you are bragging about your score or talking about what the score was, your team automatically loses all of their points. The only people that really want to hear about your score are people that weren't actually out there at recess, so save it for when you're home talking to your family. As in PE, also, we use rock, paper, scissors to settle all disagreements, and it's not best out of 3, it is best out of 1. Some standard rules that we need to reinforce. Once the teams are made, we don't switch teams. We are not trading players. If you quit, the game would be uneven, so once you decide you're going to play, you need to play the entire time. If you do quit for whatever reason, you are not joining back in unless it's because of an injury. And if a new player joins, they should join the team with the least amount of players, not the team with their best friends. Kicking order always stays the same. The person who was next to kick when the inning ended is the first to kick the next inning. So, for example, if I am the first kicker up the first inning and we get 3 outs, I should not be the first person kicking again unless I was supposed to be kicking next when the inning ended. Pitches are determined by the pitcher. It's part of the game. They can choose if it is smooth or bouncy, but it needs to be within reason. Pitches need to be lower than the kicker's knees when the ball is at the plate. So, for example, if you roll the ball and it's so bouncy and it's bouncing up to the kicker's waist when it's at the plate, that's not a kickable ball. That will be called a ball. And remember, 4 balls equal, they get to go to first base for free.